Hey guys, this is my friend Grant. You want to introduce yourself, Grant?
What up? I'm Peter's friend from school. And
Yep.
yeah.
All right. So we're gonna get straight into this, y'all. Okay. So the first question we have for you, Grant, is who do you think is the GOAT? And I'm gonna be answering this too. So
Okay, so I think it is Michael Jordan. Easy, I think it is Michael Jordan.
why?
So, one, he's 6-0 in the finals.
Mhm.
Two, an amazing defender.
Okay.
A way better defender than LeBron.
LeBron should have got 2 DTOYs in my opinion. Clearly.
Three, Jordan's just more clutch. His averaging he's averaged the most points in playoffs history.
Yeah.
And LeBron, he's a choker. 4 and 6 in the finals.
Yeah, but at least he made it to the finals. MJ couldn't make it to the finals. He couldn't even get there. Because he's a bum.
He was 6-0 in the finals.
Yeah, but he's a bum. He had no competition. Who was his competition? New York Knicks, Patrick Ewing, and who? Trash. Bums. We done with the 90s. LeBron James, my sunshine, baby. Come on. So the first point we have is without a super team, Michael Jordan didn't win anything. Without all those amazing players like Scottie Pippen and others, Michael Jordan, he couldn't even make it out of the first round. He was a bum.
LeBron only won with good teams.
That's not true. He only won the finals with good teams, but he won the first round. LeBron, without anybody on his team, with complete all bums on his team, won 66 wins, which in my opinion is easily one of the greatest seasons of all time because he had the most impact on winning individually. You can't deny that. Leading your team full of bums to 66 wins has never happened before in history. And then LeBron, although he had no team and he lost in the 2007 finals, he made it to the 2007 finals with one of the greatest playoff runs of all time. MJ didn't have no great playoff run like that. He's got eliminated by the first round. And to be fair, MJ did average like 40, but the problem was that era was so like high pace, like it was even like more high scoring than our era now. Because it was so like fast paced. They were playing in so different eras. LeBron was playing in like the dead ball era, and he was still averaging like 35, and MJ was averaging 40, but it was in a way different era. And LeBron was doing it on better rebounds and way better assists, and he was actually like a pass first player almost. I'm not gonna say he's like a Magic Johnson or anything where he's just fully pass first, but he definitely valued passing a lot. And then if you watch the playoffs, like I watched a game against the Orlando Magic in 2009, and although he lost that series, the Orlando were going crazy. Their Orlando Magic were going crazy, first of all. And LeBron, I mean, he was passing like so much. There were times where I was like, what are you doing? Like, just take the ball. Stop passing. It literally looked like a pass first player in like a really like important clutch game in the playoffs. So like that's important. And no, he can still average so many points on good efficiency while passing and rebounding and doing all this stuff. And I think that's really important to me. And for me, I value impact on winning a lot. Whether it's, that's not just championships, right? Because Bill Russell has 11. There's like more factors that go into that, right? And then LeBron James, you said he wasn't clutch. He averages the most points in Game 7 of all time.
Because of how much he's been in.
What? MJ's been in 2, LeBron's been in like 4. That's not that much of a difference, you know what I'm saying?
That's double the amount.
LeBron LeBron is clutch. I don't know what you talking about.
All I gotta say is Mavericks versus Heat finals.
Okay, bro. We're not gonna talk about that one. You know, he was getting warmed up. You know, he was in his early stages of being GOAT man. You know, it happens to the best of us. We mess up. Then the greatest season of all time, committed by, I don't even know how to explain this. Committed by LeBron. He averaged 27 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block. Did this on an incredible 57% from the field as a small forward, by the way, and 40% from 3. People say he really couldn't shoot in 2012 to 13. Well, guess what? He could shoot. He was tough. He could play everything. He could pass. He could rebound. He could score. And yes, it was like a lower scoring average than MJ, but he didn't shoot as many shots. Believe it or not, LeBron had a 6-game streak in that season where he got 30 or more points with 60% or more field goal. And in one of those games, I'm pretty sure it was somewhere in that season, but it might have been one of those games, I'm not sure. He had 31 points on 100% field goal. He also had that game 6 where he got 45 points on like 70% field goal. He might not have scored as much as MJ, but that was because he gave up the ball and he played more of a better role. Now, if you look at a bunch of the top 10 greatest players of all time, like even MJ, a prime example is Wilt Chamberlain, right? When Wilt Chamberlain hogged the ball and scored 100 points and averaged 50, he didn't win anything. He lost every single time. He was a bum. He just was a complete stat pattern and bum. And that's what MJ was. But then when Wilt Chamberlain decided to only average 20 points on 65% from the field, he actually won 2 championships in that time where he sat back and only averaged 20 points and played better defense and got more rebounds and passed the ball better. It's the same thing with MJ, actually, believe it or not. In the first part of his career, he didn't involve his teammates, and that's why he didn't get 66 wins, and that's why he didn't get crazy. He didn't get to the finals like LeBron did with nobody on his team. LeBron plays the game in the right way. MJ plays the game in the wrong way. LeBron James is a better player.
Wait, going back, you said that LeBron James had the best season ever.
Yes. I showed you why LeBron had the best season ever. He had the best season ever.
It's gotta be Russell Westbrook's season.
Russell Westbrook. That's crazy.
Averaged a triple-double.
He was a stat pattern. He literally Steven Adams would just stand there when he could easily get a rebound and let Westbrook get a rebound. It's not the same era too. Now in the modern era, the centers on offense, they don't crash the boards, and nobody crashes the boards. So it's just kind of free rebounds, and then Steven Adams can kind of just, and all the other guys can just move out of the way so Westbrook can get his rebounds. He also handled the ball the entire time, and he also had a bunch of turnovers. And he wasn't very efficient either. That wasn't that good of a season. He also didn't really accomplish anything. They were just empty stats where LeBron actually got a lot of wins for his team and actually won the championship that year, which is very important, although MJ does have more. That's all I have to say for LeBron being the GOAT. Anything else you have to say about Michael Jordan being the GOAT? Because I kind of went on a rant there.
You have a pretty good argument.
I'm tough.
I think that whoever you ask I think that they'll always have LeBron and Jordan as their top two.
That's
So either way you go,
hmm
there's not like a wrong answer for the GOAT.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. For me, my perspective, it's more of like what I said with like the Wilt Chamberlain example I used. It's more about passing the ball and being like more of an overall player. But some people, they might like value more like isolation and what you can do, just like scoring the ball and stats. And maybe they value championships more than me, right? Like, and just MVPs and accolades, right? Like, because MJ has better accolades than LeBron. So, and like my argument is just that LeBron, in my opinion, like he had a better like prime couple seasons than MJ, and he has better longevity. So I think, in my opinion, so that's just what I think. But yeah, I think it's really depends on your perspective. Now, so wait, let me remember how to present. Okay, so we're gonna take a little like break here. We're not gonna like take a smoke break or anything, but we're just gonna react to some NBA like hair swaps or whatever. It's not like a swap between players, but for example, we might like give a player like dreads who is bald or something. So yeah. Okay. Wait, did it work? What? Here we go. So this is Jordan Walsh with the dreads. And it's a little bit low quality. But it's not a perfect like
This is fire. This is a 10 out of 10 easily.
Yeah, facts. Jordan Walsh is just so tough.
I mean, I think Jordan Walsh, you could argue he's the GOAT.
Yeah, that's a great argument, to be honest. And that hairline is so tough. That's so straight, bro. He must have got like the sharpest razor in the city. And then he must have got hit with that spice ball too.
Yep.
But anyway, that's tough, to be honest. Nonchalant dreadhead Jordan Walsh. Any other comments you have to say about this? Okay.
No, just that it's amazing.
Yep, that's facts. And then we got Bald Anthony Edwards. He's MJ's son. Well, now he even looks more like MJ.
This is MJ on the Minnesota Timberwolves right here.
Yeah. Nah, but this is for real Ant though. He looks a lot like MJ though. He really might be MJ's son. I don't think we know who like Ant's dad is or something, so you know, he might be. Next, we got LeBron James with the XXX Tentacion haircut.
I would give this like a 50 out of 10.
Yeah, to be honest, I'd probably give this like a 6, 7 out of 10. You feel me? Like a 6, 7, you know, but that's just me personally. Yeah, so we're gonna get back into this. I just kind of wanted to like, you know, take a little break from like the deep analyzation into the NBA. So now we're gonna talk about who is the greatest team of all time, Grant.
It's the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. I've said it for a while. It's got to be the Shaq and Kobe Lakers.
Anyway,
it's two of the top 10 players of all time on the same team.
That's true. But I think you have to look at like their individual seasons and not their just entire careers. And also if you look at the playoffs too, because that's really what's more important than the season. In the playoffs of 2017, which is the team I'm saying is the greatest team of all time, the 2017 Warriors, Steph the Chef, look at Wardell Curry, man, averaged 28 points, 7 assists, and 6 4.2 rebounds in the playoffs. Those are some pretty good stats, if I'm gonna be honest. Then Durant in those same playoffs, 35.2 points a game, 8.2 rebounds, and 5.4 assists per game. Those are some crazy stats from your two-star players. And in my opinion, I'm not going to argue at all that Steph is better than Shaq and Kevin Durant is better than Kobe. That's a stupid argument. But for those specific, playoffs, I would argue that Kevin Durant and Steph might have been the better duo. I'm going to be honest. They might have been. I don't know if they're quite, but, I definitely think it's close.
Who's guarding Kobe? Who's guarding Kobe?
Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson was a lockdown defender.
Kobe's dropping 40.
You know what? Give me Iguodala. I want Iguodala. Andre Iguodala. By the way, this is what I was going to bring up next. He won the Finals MVP in 2015 for holding the GOAT man, to 35% from the field in the finals. And he did not deserve that Finals MVP. But that's still he's 2 years ago, he was a Finals MVP. That's a big deal, whether he deserved it or not. And then,
how about Shaq? Who's guarding Shaq?
Zaza Pachulia and the Donkey! Next, we're going to bring up Klay Thompson, who's guarding Derek Fisher. No, Steph is guarding Derek Fisher. Klay Thompson is guarding Ron Artest, Meta World Peace.
Oh, Ron Artest is guarding KD. KD's not scoring that much.
I mean,
then I'll put Kobe on Curry. Kobe on Curry.
Did you see that one clip where Kobe was playing lockdown defense from full court? Steph hit the three and then Kobe gave him the butt tap. Did you see that clip?
That's one play.
That's exactly, but that's the only play I've seen of Kobe guarding Steph. So I think that's gonna go pretty well for the Warriors. Next, Klay Thompson, those playoffs, he averaged 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. That's not that good, but as a third option on that team, I think that's pretty good, to be honest. 15 points, that's pretty good. I don't think Ron Artest or Derek Fisher was doing those things. And probably Meta World Peace, he's probably not even going to be able to guard KD because he's probably just going to get ejected from the series.
Same with Draymond.
The fans. And then Draymond won the DPOY that season. The same 2016 to 17 season.
He's not guarding Shaq. I don't care. He's not guarding Shaq.
Donkey!
He's not guarding Shaq.
That's fair. But I would just say that we're talking about the greatest team of all time, and I would say that the Warriors were better in their specific era that they played in, right? Because
actually, if we're doing a series of 7, give me the big 3 down in Miami with the Heat, with the LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh.
2011 and 2014.
Give me them in 2012.
Okay, that's fair. That's
because
fair, but
LeBron and KD will match up, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got Chris Bosh as. I feel like he's underlooked as a player.
So, in those finals against the Dallas Mavericks, LeBron was guarding Jason Terry, and I watched a video from a guy named Angry Old Hoops Fan, and he's a white guy who has an afro wig, and he's a really stupid old head, but he does have some good critiques about our era and LeBron especially, and he showed some footage of LeBron guarding Jason Terry. And I'm just gonna say it didn't go very well for LeBron. It went pretty well for Jason Terry though. So I don't know. I mean, LeBron's a good like defender in terms of like blocks and stuff, and I guess, but like in a one-on-one, I'm not sure how well he's gonna do against KD because KD's like
But
an isolation player.
then we've got Dwayne Wade,
Hmm.
who I think Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh are both underrated players because they went to the Heat. They sacrificed their stats in order to win championships. Because if you look at before, like Dwayne Wade before LeBron was there, was
Yeah,
like I you could argue he was top 5 in the NBA.
that's fair.
And then Chris Bosh was an amazing big for the Raptors before there, and he was still really good with the Heat, but his stats took a massive decline because he was playing with LeBron and Dwayne Wade.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I don't know about a massive decline though. It's only like 5 points, but I guess that's a pretty big decline.
But just
But
even like the shot attempts,
you gotta think like KD and Steph. KD averaged 35 and Steph averaged 28, along with Draymond Green, DPOY, Andre Iguodala, the Finals MVP 2 years ago. Like Kevin Durant and Steph Curry just worked so well together, and then you had Klay Thompson, 15-point scorer to that, great shooter. It's always so helpful to have just a knockdown catch and shoot shooter. Like
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I could see the big three Heat like beating the Warriors. Like wouldn't be
I
surprised
definitely
if that
I
happened.
definitely think that series would go to a game 7.
Yeah, it would probably.
I could see that. And I think that whoever got home court advantage in game 7, that could be a big factor in who wins that game.
That's fair. All right. So next thing we're gonna talk about is who should win the MVP award this season.
In my mind, it's pretty easy. Should be Jokic. The man's averaging a triple double
Yeah,
on good efficiency.
he is for sure. That definitely is true.
And his defense, Shea definitely is a way better defender.
Yep. Mhm.
But like, if you look at the impact, the Thunder are the 1 seed. Shea's played amazing for them. But even without Shea, they're still going to be a really good team.
That's true.
Jokic, the Nuggets without Jokic are not a good team.
Mhm. So if we're
So
talking about, okay, you talk. You say the rest.
yeah, I just think that like I think he's the most valuable player to his team.
That's true. But the thing is, so if I had to choose the best player in the league, I would choose Jokic. But we're talking about who should win MVP here. And if you look at the MVP award and its traditions, you see that it's always the 1, 2, or 3 seed guy that's winning the award. It's not the 5th seed guy or 4th seed guy or whatever who's winning the award, right? Like, so even though Jokic clearly has more impact on winning than Shea to his team, like Shea's team is the 1 seed. And I also want to mention that it's not like it's not close for who is a better player this season between Shea and Jokic. Like Shea averaged 3 more points a game, and then obviously Jokic is better in field goal percentage and 3-point percentage actually, which is kind of crazy. But and then assists and rebounds. But then you got to look at his defense, and like I don't know if this is absolutely true, but what I'm hearing from like all the YouTube channels I see about Jokic is that he's the worst rim protector in the league. And what's interesting, what I see, is that Shea actually averages more blocks per game than Jokic.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
think it's
crazy.
kind of crazy. And Jokic is a 7-foot center, 6'11" to be exact. And Shea is a 6'6" point guard. So that's just totally messed up. That's horrible.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I would, in my opinion, Jokic might at his peak might be the best offensive center of all time.
And the craziest thing I've seen from like ESPN stuff is like how much Shea like wins the MVP by. Like out of the first place votes, I've seen Shea get 77 out of the 100, which I think that is crazy. I think it at least should be a close MVP race. I do not think Shea should be like blowing out Jokic in the MVP race.
And I also want to point out that Shea actually got a Defensive Player of the Year vote this year, and I completely disagree with that. That is a stupid take from the ESPN analyst who said that, if they're even an analyst. But somebody voted that for the DPOY, so I don't know. That's something to mention with Shea's defense compared to Jokic's.
Definitely a Shea Glazer.
Yeah, for sure. That's crazy. Somebody has been voting Sabonis for MVP and DPOY in like all of the awards. It's some random guy. I don't really know. We don't really know who it is. The votes are like anonymous or whatever. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is just how are the playoffs going? Like, what have you noticed? Like, what are your predictions for the finals?
So starting in the West, I think so the Thunder obviously won today, swept the Grizzlies. I think this game they won by 2, but Grizzlies didn't have Ja. So that's definitely a big factor. And then game 3, the Grizzlies just sold their 30-point lead.
Yeah.
And I think a big factor too of that is that John Morant left before halftime.
Yeah.
So I do think that the Grizzlies next year, if they're full and healthy, will be a very hard team to stop in the West. And I do think that the Grizzlies, like if you put the Grizzlies in the East, I think they could easily be a 5 or 4 seed.
Yeah.
That's why I think the West the West and the East need to be more balanced.
That's true.
Because the West is just so much more. It has so much more depth.
I wonder why. Do you have any
Yeah, because look at the Grizzlies. Why are they in the West? They're all the way in Memphis.
Yeah, it's true. It doesn't make sense. Memphis is not on the western side.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons they say that is because originally America was just this eastern part, and it just had Virginia and all these states, and it didn't really include all the states that were kind of between, kind of mid, but also on the east. It was just straight up all the east, the states right up on the east, and I think there's kind of a separation there between the original, all the states that were just founded right after America became a country, between the states that were made after and were in the West, right? I think that's why. But there definitely should the Memphis Grizzlies should not be a Western Conference team. They should be East.
And then so we've got, I think the Clippers and Nuggets will be the best series for round 1, and I think that is easily going to a game 7.
Yeah.
Today, Aaron Gordon hit the miraculous buzzer beater. But I think that both those teams are very good, and whoever wins in that matchup, Thunder will have a tough time beating in the second round. And then Lakers down 2-1.
LeBron dropped 40! And Luka,
I think
respect him for playing, but man.
I think for the Lakers to win, they need Austin Reeves to step up
Oh, that's
big
true.
time.
He's been such a cone on defense, and he hasn't made up for it on offense at all. It's really lame. Jaden McDaniels too. He might be the best player on the T-Wolves right now. He has been dropping like 20. He's been averaging like 27 points that series against the Lakers. It's kind of crazy.
And I think if the Lakers lose in the first round this year, like, I think the big thing they need is they need another big.
It's true, for sure. Like, the fact that Alex Land was playing minutes this season and starting some of the games where we didn't have Jackson Hayes was ridiculous. Like, just honestly, just horrible because he was such a bum. He averages like 2 rebounds a game.
Yeah. So they definitely need to get more bigs. Which I think if they got that Mark Williams trade off for like Dalton Connett, I think they would be definitely like a way better team.
For sure.
Because Dalton Connett, like the first month, he was looking like he was easily the best rookie, and now he doesn't even play.
Yeah, now when he plays, he's not really that good. When he gets out there with all of the other like G Leaguers, he's not a G Leaguer, but when he gets out there with all the G Leaguers, he stands out. But when he's actually on the court, he's not with the real rotations.
Yeah.
He doesn't play very well.
And then Warriors and the Rockets. I could see the series going either way. I think the game 4, if Warriors get up 3-1, the Rockets won't be able to come back. But I think if Rockets can win game 4 and the series to be tied 2-2, I think the Rockets have a real shot of winning that series.
That's fair.
And I think the Rockets definitely, it would have helped if they won this game because Jimmy Butler wasn't playing.
Yeah.
And so losing this game, because Jimmy Butler will probably be back, so losing this game does not help them a lot.
Do you know why Jimmy Butler is out?
I'm pretty sure it was, like, because I know in game 2, like, Amen Thompson got shoved by Draymond Green, and then Amen Thompson, like, ran into Jimmy Butler, and I'm pretty sure Jimmy Butler hurt his back on the play.
Oh, okay.
But I'm pretty sure he'll be back for game 4.
Yeah.
And then Eastern Conference, obviously, Cavs up 3-0. I think Heat might be able to win one game, the next game at home, but Cavs will easily win that series. And then Pacers and Bucks, the series is Pacers are up 2-1 in that series, right? Pretty sure they're up 2-1. Damian Lillard needs to play really good for the Bucks. Like, the Dame Giannis duo needs to play really good for them to win the game, to win the series.
Yeah.
And, like, Kyle Kuzma and Brook Lopez as, like side, like, parts of the team, they need to, like, step up, which Kyle Kuzma has actually been pretty good in the series.
But wasn't it like game 1 or something? Maybe that was like the last game of the season. But I'm pretty sure it was like game 1 where Kyle Kuzma had 21 minutes, 0 points, 0 blocks, 0 steals, 0 assists, 0 rebounds, something like that. I don't know. I think that was
Yeah, the Bucks need. I think that was a bad trade for them getting Kuzma, and then trading up Chris Middleton, because Chris Middleton has had health problems. But like when he's playing, he was a big part of why the Bucks won the 2021 NBA Finals against the Suns.
Yeah, and he has that chemistry and playoff experience too.
Mhm.
Kuzma has some playoff experience.
Yeah.
He's been in
And like I think Chris Middleton, he's like a reliable shooter too.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, like, I think that would have helped their team a lot more.
Yeah,
Because Kuzma can't really shoot.
Yeah, Kuzma has some games where he can shoot, but most of the time he's just a bum shooting threes. So
Their only big shooters really are like Dame and Brook Lopez.
yeah,
And then Celtics, Magic. The Celtics will win that series. And like I think Celtics have pretty good odds of winning it all this year.
that's fair.
Their team is just so good and they have so much depth. And like Peyton Pritchard
Yeah, it's true. He's tough.
and like their coach is crazy and he said he likes to see his players bleed. So, but I do think he's a good coach.
He is a good coach. I saw this
And then
YouTube channel, awful coaching. And it's this guy, and he gets on there with like his shirt on, and he starts yelling about how awful the coaching is, and he's like, "Ah!" And then he gets like super
And then Piston Knicks, I think that could easily be a Game 7 series.
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham, he's been playing good for like a normal player, but I think he needs to step up for the Pistons because they're such like a young team. I think he needs to be more of like a leader and lead the team. And then Malik Beasley has to shoot better. Last game he shot like he was like 2 for 11 and like 1 for 7 on threes.
And also Isaiah Stewart and Ron Holland need to stop crashing out. But it looks
Yeah.
like makes the games fun to watch because they like get in a fight every like 2 times.
Yeah. That's it for me in the playoffs.
I think we're done.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on the podcast. Hopefully I can come on another episode.